Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Matt, Shane, and Jason with you guys tonight, as always. And guys, it is week 2 of NFL, week 3 of college football. And yes, guys, this is our betting episode. We are excited to be back. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic, sir. It is great to be back. What a wonderful week 1. I don't think I could have asked for a better week 1 as far as the sport goes itself. The NFL was exciting. A whole lot of new storylines, a whole lot of interesting things happened, and we got to see some stuff that we weren't really expecting, which, resulted in the public being terrible and resulted in our free plays not being the best. Happened, man. It's week 1.
Yeah, no, other than my Texans looking like the exact same thing that they looked like last year and me wanted to throw up for 90% of the game. Yes, week 1 was fun. It was interesting. Vegas made a killing. Last year was the public share, and I think Vegas is out to get that back this year.
Yeah, they're out for blood.
Mm-hmm. That is accurate, guys. Well, as always, we live stream our betting episode here, and that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. But before we get into it, remember to go over to fantasy6pack.net, become an all-access member. If you see the deal at the bottom of the screen, our banner, it scrolls. Use code Parlay FF for 15% off your all-access membership, and that gives you access to rankings, cheat sheets, strategies, trade discussions, the Discord community, which is live and active over there on the Fantasy Six Pack. And also, guys, it gives you guys our bets, not just the ones that we give out to you tonight. It gives you access to all of our bets, as well as others who are betting as well. So get on there, get your all access membership today. It's a one-time fee, and it is worth it. Head over to Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel, and that's where we're streaming live right now. Get over there, give it a little subscribe, notifications. It'll let you guys know when we do go live. So make sure you guys do that. Head over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Look up the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. That is where we are located when it comes to the audio side. Give us a subscribe and a 5-star review. It helps us out. Anything to add to that, boys?
Yeah, I mean, number 1, you got to subscribe to get all the picks, because if you can see, we've updated this. Ooh, that is a terrible thing to look at here. It is not very viewable. Hey, that's more viewer friendly. Listen, if you had gotten all of our picks instead of just the picks that we gave out for free, you would have made money last week. That's all I got to say. It's worth it. Look, Michael over here was 2.9 units up. He played 3 plays. He got all 3 if you subscribed. You got Matt. So he was up a half unit, even though he went 1 and 2 on his free plays. I was up a full unit, despite the fact I went over 3 of my frees. Jason didn't update his but we'll get that back to you. And Matt's, killing it with college ticket, man. 11 units up already. So, that's right, baby. Trust us when we say it is worth it. It is plus EV, baby. So, pound those picks.
That's right.
Yeah, Jason. I didn't want to update it because I'm about to give the recap, and y'all are about to hear firsthand how shitty I did last week. But hey, it's only up from here, and I think this is just impressive. So I'm going to hop into our recap before Matt gives his college plays for the week. So, guys, as a group, we know week 1, it hurt. Yes.
It hurt.
Just real quick.
Here, hold on. Before we give our picks, can I just say that the public went 3-13, and the 5 teams that closed as favorites went 0-5 ATS.
There we go.
So, I mean, it wasn't us. It wasn't just us. Everybody was pretty bad.
Yeah, the bad teams came out to play against the high point favorites. So as a group, y'all, we went 1-8 with our free plays. Overall, we went 5-10, and our locks for the week, nobody hit. So, hey, the only positive thought about what happened last week is our survivor pool hit. So if you tailed and followed our survivor pool, you're into week 2 safe, and we have another play for y'all. But before we get into that, Matt, let's update us on your college football picks and let's give out some free picks.
Yeah, so last week on my free plays that I gave you guys, I did end up going 1-2, which is not very good. But overall, I ended up going 5-3-2. I pushed on 2 of my plays, and man, we were so close. Both of the games I pushed on were so close to getting that dub. I could have gone 7-3, but I didn't. I went 5-3-2 last week, so still positive, and we're still, as you guys saw on the screen a second ago, we're still up. We're still above 500. Not quite as where I wanted to be from where I was last year, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I feel confident about these three plays I'm going to give you guys right now. So that being said, guys, this week, my first pick, I am picking the Ohio Bobcats versus Ohio State Buckeyes.
Ooh, Ohio.
Okay. My personal rankings on these teams suggest that I should take the points with Ohio in this matchup. But guess what, boys? I'm not going to do that. We are taking a pivot here. Instead, we are making a move, and we are taking the over on the total, which right now currently sits at 51.5. I am comfortable playing this up to 54 if it gets there. If you guys are listening to this right now, it's at 51.5, and I love that number. Ohio suffocated a Big 12 team in West Virginia last week and held them to 250 total yards of offense. But really, they looked quite bad against a Rutgers squad the week before. Ohio seemingly just continues to keep the ball rolling from last year going into this year, coming off the natty. I meant Ohio State, not Ohio. Coming off the natty, they are just continuing to roll. They have several new faces and several new players, but they beat Texas, and they absolutely just destroyed Grambling State 70-0. Even with Ohio being a better team, who I think will be able to score a few points in this matchup, Ohio State's going to continue to roll no matter what the score is, or at least they should, just to continue showing dominance. Since 2019, Ohio State has scored at least 52 points against MAC schools. So the last five times they played a MAC school, they have scored at least 52 points by themselves.
Why are they playing MAC schools? I don't know. I want to know, why are they playing MAC schools? I understand it gives a chance to the terrible teams to play the good teams, but also, like, we don't want the terrible teams to play the good teams. That's my issue with this. I'm watching Bama play, like, Alabama. What was it, Alabama State they played last week?
Something like that. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Give me the over. I think Ohio State could potentially score this by themselves, but I do think Ohio can actually score some points. It'll be probably later in the game, but 51.5 is just too enticing. So give me that over 51.5. Jason, that is my lock of the week for these guys out here for college. My second game here, guys, we're back. Thursday night games. We are back. North Carolina State at Wake Forest. Give me Wake Forest plus 7.5. That's minus 115. I'm putting a half a unit on this. ACC games are getting ready to start early this year on Thursdays. We have North Carolina State traveling to Winston-Salem to play the Demon Deacons. These two squads are currently both 2-0, and relatively surprising, as I'm not sure that these teams, either one of these teams, are actually very good. Okay? Both were predicted to finish in the bottom half of their conferences, and honestly, one, maybe both, probably still will. But right now, they are both undefeated, and you can't look past that. These two squads are honestly still trying to figure things out, as they both have been riddled with transfers and new faces. Wake Forest is, if you look at their coach, they are a very defensive-minded team. But North Carolina State with a true freshman quarterback traveling to Winston-Salem, that is a pretty ruckus crowd. So I am taking Wake Forest solely because they are playing at home to cover the plus 7.5. Give me that number. Next game. Notre Dame versus Texas A&M. Give me the over 49.5. That sits at minus 112, putting a half unit on that. Last year, if you guys remember, this game was actually a pretty sloppy game, and it had a lot of hype going into it. Both these offenses were pretty potent last year. And last year, I actually took the over as well. It did not hit. I am going back to the well to take the over again. I looked up the stats. Last year, there were 17 accepted penalties in this game. Lots of turnovers.
What?
Yes. Hey, yes. But no, it was just very sloppy last year. Lots of penalties. These two offenses are still both explosive offenses. That's what we come to watch when you get these big football games, these big matchups, big teams, big schools. I like the over again. I'm going back to the well, so give me the over 49.5. This should be a fun and exciting offensive battle. So give that to me. Give me the over.
Okay. We're going with some college football action right there. I heard something that Texas Tech, since I live here in Lubbock, one of the cappers that I listened to was like, when they play Oregon State, just slam the number. Don't even think about it this week. I don't even know what that number is right now. So take that for food for thought. But Matt has been good with this pick. Shane, do you have anything?
I actually do not have one. I will say I did hit my college football pick last week. So, that's nice. I'm 1-1 in college football. As soon as I see an edge, I will tell you. But aside from that, I will just end this by saying probably fade Kansas State until they prove otherwise. Although I will say Arizona did flip from underdogs to favorites, so I don't really love that.
And don't forget, this is a Friday game. Kansas State travels to Arizona, Tempe to play Arizona Friday night. Dylan Edwards is still questionable about an ankle injury that didn't look like an injury. Must be, I don't know, but he is still questionable to play. So if he does not play, Shane, I don't think until he comes back. I'm not saying that he makes or breaks the team, but I don't think
it's
until
not a running game
back.
without him. That's part of the issue is like they don't have anything else, and they're very one-dimensional, and they refuse to move Avery Johnson out of the pocket.
Yeah,
it's a shit show. That's what it is. What it is.
Yeah, it looks bad,
and their defense is terrible this year.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Anyways,
with that being said, Shane, you had the best record last week. You can start us off with your best bets for the week.
I had the best record. Matt had the best record at 1-2 in our free plays, but I did go 3-3 overall. So I guess technically I had the best record. I'll take it. You know what? I'll take it. Listen, my free play number 1 is a teaser. I'm a tease guy. I am. I'm just going to tease you just a little here. And that is taking the Cardinals, who we picked as survivors last week, and the Ravens, and we're going to smash them together. And it's going to be because the Ravens are 11.5-point favorites after giving up a 10-point fucking lead to Buffalo. Teams that give up 10-point leads, you bet on them the next week because they are covering monsters, and this Cleveland team is really not that good. I'm going to be honest with you. What they did to Cincinnati, it's just because Cincinnati gets in their head and they can't do it, and also it's early in the season. Fade Cincy early. Although, I mean, maybe not fade Cincy this early. Anyways, Cardinals I'm backing because, again, just a better team in a better spot. I think that, we actually saw some surprising things from Kyler. So I'm going to bet the better team in this situation. I think the Panthers regress significantly. So I'm going to back the two better teams, one under touchdown, one to just win. I think that's pretty easy cooking. And let's see here. We have, speaking of the Bengals and the fade of the Bengals, listen, I'm not a huge fan of fading the Bengals this week, mostly because the Jacksonville Jaguars are officially terrible, just like they were last year. Shocker. Listen, anytime touchdown, Chase Brown. That is one of my free plays this week. It is minus 155. It's a lot of juice. I understand. I'm sorry. It's the best value on the board for anytime touchdown plays. You're probably going to get a boost if you use any type of normal sportsbook. Go ahead and look at the boost. Chase Brown should be in any version that you want to of any of your parlays, of any of the touchdowns, because the Jaguars cannot stop the run. And Chase Brown is going to get his. He's the leading running back in the metric of breaking tackles, and they played like shit. If they give him the opportunity, he is going to pound the ball into the end zone, and he may get one or maybe two this week. My lock of the week, Jason. I can't believe I say these words in coinciding sentences. Cowboys minus 5.5. No Micah Parsons, no problem, baby. CeeDee Lamb looking like I don't know, Quentin Johnston. No problem, baby. Russell Wilson being the quarterback for the New York Football Giants, that's a problem, baby. And I will go ahead and back the Cowboys and Dak because Dak in the early season is a fanatic. And also the Cowboys defense didn't look that shitty. I'm going to be honest with you. It didn't look that bad. I'm, not necessarily super shocked because Kenny Clark is a really, really big difference maker on the inside. But they actually had some pressure that they developed last week. And, they played a really good team with Philly and they hung in there. They were in it. If CD catches a ball, the Cowboys win that game. And we're talking about that game completely different. Mm-hmm. I think this is a spot to fade the Giants and Russell Wilson, who is, please, can we have Jackson Dart on the football field at this point? Because 120 yards as a starting NFL quarterback is just freaking atrocious. And yeah, that's all I got to say.
I like that. I agree 100%. I do like those.
Matt?
Okay. I'll take a step up here. My lock of the week this week is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 2.5 playing Jason's Houston Texans in Houston. Listen, Emeka Egbuka is pretty darn good. How much does that hurt Mike Evans? I think that remains to be seen. Emeka
Egbuka is the future. Just hold on. We got to backtrack. Emeka Egbuka is not only the future, but the now. That dude is a baller and also a total nerd. And we all should stand Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, no, I think he's absolutely fantastic. Mike Evans is still going to get his, I do believe, but that offense could be pretty darn good now that we've seen a little sample size of what Egbuka can do on the field. And Jason, I'm not saying that the Texans are bad, but they looked extremely bad week one. When you play 4 different running backs, I don't think you're ever going to get a consistent rhythm. I mean, I just don't think it's going to happen. Nico Collins only had 4 targets. I mean, what in the hell are we doing?
Also, why is Dare Agumbawale seeing significant touches?
I don't know. I don't know what's this. I did not predict this from the Houston Texans going into week one. I don't know if it was just week one and everyone played kind of crappy. But I don't know what happened until I see something different. The Buccaneers could be a very scary team this year.
I think what happened real quick is the Rams have one of the best D lines in football, and CJ was pressured 48% of snaps or dropbacks, to where that kind of plays a role whenever you can't throw or don't have more than 2 seconds to throw the ball downfield. As part for running backs, I don't know why Chubb did not get more touches in that game because
they announced that he was going to be they announced he was going to be the bell cow and then didn't use him.
Right. And I totally agree with you about the Rams. I think they could be one of the best defenses, but is it totally the Rams or is it an offensive line problem? Because it looked like
Verse is that dude.
God, yeah.
Verse,
and we did have
defensive player of the year.
Go ahead.
Verse defensive player of the year is in play. It is still plus 1,000 odds.
Yeah, and we did sprinkle it on that.
Yeah, that was a future spot I gave out. Just saying.
Yeah. So, I just like the way the Bucs are set up right now. I don't know if Houston's going to be able to. They'll play better. But I just like where the Buccaneers are at right now. They feel very confident. They feel very comfortable. And I think Baker takes a step up because he didn't play his best week one. So, give me the Buccaneers plus 2.5 in that matchup. My next one, guys, Shane's kind of already alluded to it. I'm going to take Cincinnati minus 3.5. I agree with Shane. I don't think we're going to fade him this week. Listen, Joe Burrow did not play well. And the Browns defense is actually a fairly decent defense.
Myles Garrett wrecks them every single time.
Yeah, and it's an in-division game. I think Cincinnati going back home, their first home game, I think you're going to see a totally different Cincinnati offense. I really do. Jacksonville, they looked better on offense, but Brian Thomas Jr., 1 reception. That's ridiculous. Travis Etienne, well, where the hell did he come from? He looked like his rookie year, looked like his rookie self. But I think overall, I think Cincinnati's going to show some firepower this week on offense. And I think Jacksonville's going to have to play catch up very early. So give me Cincinnati minus 3.5 in that matchup. My next one, guys, that's my team. My team, baby. My team actually hit the over for once. Well, the game hit the over. Give me Pittsburgh.
Your team was close to hitting an over by themselves. The only over game in the entire slate was the game with the fewest points. Like, all right, Vegas, cool. Fuck you guys.
Give me Pittsburgh -3. I didn't have high expectations of what this team would look like week 1. I knew the Jets were a team that there were questions around. I knew that their defense was a fairly solid defense, but there were a lot of questions around that offense. And the Jets came out and balled out, and Pittsburgh was forced to keep up. Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to say it's prime Aaron Rodgers, but he did not look bad. I mean, he had 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards passing, and threw to receivers that no one was talking about other than DK Metcalf.
Perk Rodgers is back. Just saying.
I like Pittsburgh -3. Again, they're playing at home. I know Seattle's coming in. They're a little bit better team. I don't know if their defense is better than the Jets, but listen, it's Pittsburgh's first home game of the year. They're going to be fired up. They'll be fired up to start 2-0. So give me Pittsburgh -3 in this matchup. I don't think Seattle will be able to keep up. I think Pittsburgh's defense is better than what they showed against the Jets, and they just signed Jabril Peppers, which I know he's getting older, but that defense could be very scary, especially at home. That could be a very scary defense to be playing against.
Yeah,
So
I mean, they added 50 Pro Bowls, Matt. That's what they did this offseason. We talked about that after we had podcasted the other day. Like, when you add that kind of experience and like high level play that has happened, it elevates everybody else around you. Especially when they're still not, out of their prime necessarily. A lot of these guys are still ballers. Like Jalen Ramsey, still a baller.
Yeah.
I don't know if we knew that. Jalen Ramsey, DK Metcalf, still ballers. Who would have thought?
Great hit at the end of the game too.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I jumped up so fast. I was like, "Oh yes, sir, let's go." Yeah. So give me.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay. Yep. There's my picks.
All right, you guys, it's redemption week for your boy.
Hey, Jason, hold on.
After what happened last week. So the first play I'm going to give you, it's going to be kind of gross, but we're going with it. We're going to go Commanders-Packers under 48.5 at a half unit play. I like this because typically, on average, the Thursday night football games matchup is lower scoring than a typical Sunday or Monday night game. At least they have a lot less time to prepare, and a lot more people are banged up. I know the Packers did play well. The Commanders' offense didn't look too great, and I like the pass rush by the Packers. I think the Commanders stay in this game, but I think it's going to be a 21-24 kind of total in that game. So give me the under. I'm leaning that way at 48.5. My lock this week, guys, I'm going to fade Danny Dimes till the day I die. I don't believe it. Comeback player of the year right now is probably one of the hottest bets. It's either him or would JJ even be in there?
I think Justin. JJ didn't play, so I don't think he's eligible.
Okay.
But I think Justin Fields could be an argument for comeback player of the year at this point.
Yeah, no, hey, Danny Dimes, the Shane Steichen might have revitalized his career. I just think Miami is a terrible football team in general. It's a dumpster fire organization, and they haven't changed GMs in over 10 years. So, hey, I'm going to fade Danny Dimes. Give me the Broncos defense to step up, one of the better defenses in the NFL to pressure them. I know the Colts defense is slept on. A lot of people sleep on that team, and they do have players on that team. But I think the Broncos, after the abysmal week 1 versus the Titans, I think that game was almost unwatchable for how bad Bo Nix played.
It was pretty gross.
Terrible. I watched that whole game, and it was terrible.
I think it's a get-right week for them. And give me the Broncos at -1.5. I like them playing in a dome. I think Bo Nix is going to be a little bit more comfortable in this game with Sean Payton calling plays. Then my last one, this team should have won last night. Bears +5.5. They look like a completely different team in the fourth quarter than they did in the first 3 quarters whenever everything was scripted. I have a half unit play on this. The Broncos was my lock, and that's a full unit play. Forgot to add that. Yeah, the Bears +5.5. Lions did not look good. And I read a stat somewhere that Jared Goff without Shane, do you know it off the top of your head?
Without not Shane Steichen, without
Ben Johnson.
Yeah, he's Owen. He's like 0-14 ATS.
Hey,
Yeah.
you want to know another stat that's funny?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jahmyr Gibbs getting 10 receptions and only getting 31 yards. That's the lowest in NFL history to get 10 receptions and not more than 31 yards. That's the lowest yardage total after getting 10 receptions.
And guys, do we think that's because the Packers defense, or was that just an identity issue with the Lions? They don't know what they are now without Ben Johnson.
I mean, personally, I think it was a mixture of both. I think the Lions were a little caught off guard by the Packers defense.
So I'm going to take the Bears in this game. The Bears offense looked good in the first three quarters. Last half, why am I blanking? It looks like Caleb Williams wants to make the great plays look so easy, but the easy plays look so hard, and it kills me to watch that. Missed throws that are wide open and whatnot. Until the Lions prove to me that their offense looks a lot better, I'm gonna pick teams to cover that point spread right now. Give me the Bears at plus 5.5 with that play. And guys, we are going directly. Do you want to do survivor pick, or are we going into a dog?
We'll do the dog first.
Okay, guys, who we got for our dogs? List them out, and we'll give you the total at the end.
I have the Buccaneers as my dog.
At Texans, okay.
Yep.
Shane?
I have the Las Vegas Raiders.
And they play
the not San Diego.
Los
Angeles Chargers.
It'll
always be the San Diego Chargers. And guess what? They play them at home, so it is a road game.
That's a Monday night game. We have two Monday night games, right?
Yep. It's the late one, and the Raiders are at home, so taking the home dog.
Okay, cool. Then Super Bowl rematch. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have something to prove this week. And I think that they actually shut down the run and make Hurts throw the football.
You don't know how unbelievably happy you just made Shane taking the Chiefs. Shane might have just got a little chub.
Yeah, I was like, I can't remember the last time they started 0-2, but I think it's been a hot minute. Hey, and those parlay totals with the Bucks, we're going money line, Joe. Bucks money line, Raiders money line, Chiefs money line. We got plus 1,040. So $10 bet wins you 104 bucks. Yep, perfect. And Shane, we could talk about our survivor.
Yes, sir. So hold on, let me backtrack. I had a stat, and I don't know if you heard me. We have two of the worst early season ATS quarterback. Well, two of the worst ATS situations in football going head to head here. In Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow. Trevor Lawrence is 14-15 in his career ATS on the road. He is literally one of the worst quarterbacks in the last since 2021. He is the least profitable quarterback on the road.
Wow.
Joe Burrow is 67 out of 67 quarterbacks in the first 2 weeks of football ATS. So something's got to give between these two teams because neither one of them can cover. So someone's got to cover.
Come on, Joe Burrow.
I'm excited for this game because it's truly like when you have two walls meet each other and like one has to break. That's what's happening here. Something has to give.
This game would end in a tie just to make it perfect.
There you go. I wonder what tie is. We'll look that up later. We'll give that one out. Listen, our lock for the survivor is actually my lock of the week. It coincides. We are taking Dallas as our survivor pick this week because we're fading Russell Wilson. Dallas actually looks like a competent team at this point. And not only that, they're at home. And Dallas at home is always a good play. It's also one of the only, I guess, niche plus EV plays that you can play in Survivor this week. There aren't fantastic matchups for the Cowboys later on this season that correlate with teams that you wouldn't have already used. There's better plays out there later on for most teams that you would be looking to use, like Baltimore or Buffalo or even Detroit. So keep that
I'd rather
in mind
see them
in Survivor.
I'd rather see them versus Russell Wilson than the second time versus Jackson Dart, if we're being completely honest with that.
Yeah, getting out ahead of that. And also, what are you going to do? You're going to use Dallas, or are you going to use you don't really want to burn some like the superior teams as early as you kind of got to use these middling teams a little bit when you see the favorable matchup.
Mm-hmm. And before we wrap it up, Shane, who are the majority of people on right now for the Survivor, just so people can be on the lookout for that? What team?
So current Survivor projected source picks is Baltimore, and then unfortunately Dallas, the Rams, Arizona, San Francisco, which I think that one's going to change. I can't imagine people are going to be backing Mac Jones versus Spencer Rattler if that's what ends up happening. And then Buffalo. So yeah, those are the only ones that have more than a 5% of the pool pick.
Yeah, everybody and their mother is going to be on the Ravens this week, it seems like.
28.8% of picks thus far have been cast on the Ravens. So without a doubt, that is where the public is on the pool. I don't know if you want to follow that. It bit everybody. I mean, not that I'm actually concerned about that this specific week, but also Cleveland did that to everybody last year. Cleveland's one of those teams. They did it to everybody. They'll do it again. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing when you get that many people piled into one pick.
That's right. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, the betting side of it, the betting edition. We will be starting now to release a fantasy episode as well. That's not going to be recorded live. That will just come out on both the YouTube channel here and the audio side. So we will get into that after a bit, but that's going to wrap up this week. Remember, guys, catch us every single Tuesday live at 8:15 p.m. Central Time. That is when we do stream live for you guys here on the channel with our best bets and free picks for you guys. And if you become an all-access member at fantasy6pack.net, you will have a lot more bets than just the ones that we give you. So football season's just getting started, guys. We've got plenty of bets for you. We've got plenty more coming. We will make you that quiche. So remember, head over to fantasy6pack.net. Use promo code ParlayFF to get 15% off your all-access membership. Head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and subscribe to the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Leave us a 5-star review if you would like to help out the show. We would greatly appreciate it. And as always, guys, don't be afraid to DM us. Message us. If you want to catch any of us on X, you can find Shane at Shane Parlay FF. You can find Jason at Jason Parlay FF. And you can find myself at Matt_Parlay FF. Hit us up over there as well. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And we will start be posting stuff out there too. I know Shane's already started. So that being said, boys, that's going to wrap it up. You guys know what to do.
Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars is plus 5,500 for a tie. Just saying.
Spooky. Yeah. Hey, it's a get right week. I hope everybody has a great week.
Yes, sir. Be responsible when betting. We love you all to the moon and back. And until next week, next episode. Peace out.
Hello. Now.